Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I have another test video this time because I've been running the computer and it's working good for a MEFI 3 computer on an 8.2 liters Volvo Penta um, GSI. This is sent by me by John from Tennessee, John D from Tennessee. He asked me to not disclose his full name, so as you can see, I cover as much as information I have in here. So it says it's a 2001 Cobalt 262, and we have everything in there, 8.2 liters. All the part numbers and everything matches good. Let's take a look at these numbers. I'm glad that he put all this in here. So 71198, 71198. So that is exactly the same computer. It says, Mike, please check out the computer for my boat. I purchased MEFI Burn software from Bob and cannot get it to talk to the computer on the boat. I tried three different computers with different operating software. All right, so I'm going to just stop and let people understand that yeah, MEFI Burn is a waste of your money. It will not read the computer. Things that they don't disclose, so you buy the software and you're stuck with something that you cannot use. As MEFI Burn is for calibrations only. Most of the MEFIs, 3, 4, 5, and so on, are software locked. They have a password. Unless you request that straight from Volvo, you as an owner, and if you're lucky, they might give you the password. Otherwise, it's locked forever, and nobody can get the password. Sometimes not even Volvo Penta has a password ever, because they discard all that information. So, Bob, what has been done is create his own calibrations, or if he was able to get those passwords from the dealer when they were available, he has a way to unlock some of the computers, not all the computers. So MEFI Burn is for that, only to remove the calibration from the computer and install it back if you have the password or the computer is not locked. When Bob puts his own calibration, because he has done, he's a good tuner and he does good calibrations, but he's also smart and he puts his password back on. So nobody else can read it and mess with it and, have it. So that's his own perform tune. So yes, I respect that 100%. But yeah, Murphy Burn is not to read the computer as far as that. This is Diacom. You can have from using the same cable that comes with Murphy Burn, another software, I think it's, I forgot the name. I might be able to look. Give me 1 second. All right, find the information. So what you need is with the cable that you use for the Murphy Burn, you can use the Scanner Pro as right there. So again, for 1, 2, 3, 4, all the fours, right? 4A and 4B, you can use the Scanner Pro if you want to see that same information that I have here. So let me just go back to, I have that open on the other computer. So let me just make sure that I put that in the, okay. So Diacom is for me a lot better. It's a faster communication and you can record. Things that I also want to share with everybody that uses a boat. If you buy a Diacom kit, laptop based, don't buy the Diacom Mate Pro. That's just a small code reader and it gives you PIDs and you can see like 3 PIDs or 4 PIDs at a time, but that's just really a toy. You will have to scroll down. You have no way to record. What am I saying about recording? So let's right now, I'm running John computer here. So actually, let me go over to this computer. So what you have to do is, you see this camera right here? Let me just move this a little bit of the way. That camera right there. So you're in the boat, you're just on the dock, and you're about to take off. Before we go there, let me just show that he has a coding history for throttle position sensor voltage high. This voltage is not current here. I can erase it, it goes away. I didn't erase it on purpose because that was there. Now we see that we got 0 volts. And I can change the voltage on before I start the recording. I want to set up these parameters so we can see them, because after you hit the recording, you want to be able to see anything, or not see anything, not be able to select anything. So well, I'm going to select most of the bits that I want to see. So we got throttle position, we got RPM, Injector pulse width, which is pretty good, pretty steady. I can see that into my simulator right here. I'm going to show you in a second how to use DIACOM, and that will help me or help you help me, and then at the end, help yourself. Okay, map voltage. These are parameters that you want to select. I mean, I guess, sorry, again, this is just for you to be able to see it from the distance. So you're going to be in the boat and you can put your laptop on anything on the seat next to you and just click the record and forget about the scanner. This is going to be all being recorded. So this is for you to see if you see anything abnormal in there. We can select a IAC follower. So let me put this in here. These are pits that I like to always observe, keep an eye on it as I am accelerating the boat or I'm running it, do my tests, and make sure that, if I see something, I can stop the recording and then hit record again so I don't miss that data in case something happens with the laptop, right? So I always try to, when I feel something, I slow down the boat and then I stop the recording, save the file with a name, and then I keep going again, testing again. If it happens again, I stop and do the same thing like that. I know it's at the end of that recording because sometimes it's a little hard to come back to the data unless it's a very obvious thing, right? So, but yeah, this is pretty much what I select. This boat has 303 hours and 55 minutes. All right, so when I'm here, I'm going to select that camera right here and then going to start the recording. Right now it's recording. So as you can see, that glitch that you see right there is just because it's uh, through TeamViewer. There's nothing being glitchy or anything. But yeah, so if I raise the RPMs, now I'm starting to run the boat, right? So I'm going to raise the RPMs and we can see that in there. I'm going 1300. I'm going to go almost 4000 RPMs. Actually 4500 RPMs. I'm going to change the throttle position accordingly. Of course, in the boat, this is going to come all together, right? Um, we can raise the map a little bit because that's just the way that we'll be on the boat. We will have like 14 or so and a higher steady throttle, right? Five 5 volts is normal, so everything is good in here. Injector, pulse width, everything is working good. We can see the IAC, that light in there is the IAC, that is the coil. Fuel pump relay is on, everything is good, right? So we're recording this, we're driving the boat and everything's going good and boom, 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 we feel something. Okay, now I'm going over to the software and I just click right here, right? The stop. All right, when that happens, this is going to let me put a name. So let me stop 1 second and put a name. All right, so as you can see, I put the name at the beginning. So John D, Tennessee, 4K RPMs. That's high RPM test for me. And I keep the date in there because I want that. So it's 10/15, 2023 at 11:52, and that's the recording time right there, right? So, okay, as soon as I do that, I just click that. That's going to be save on the DIACOM. You just go over to records. I will show you in a second. All right, so then I will go and then I come back again. I'm taking the boat back again. Before I do that, let me actually I can do it. Let's just hit the record. Now I'm recording again. I want to come down to 2500 RPMs and then reduce the throttle position, run 25 or so percent and get the map sensor. Oh, sorry, not that one. I'm changing the temperature. So that's okay. Map sensor. I go down to like around 13 or so. 13 inches of mercury right here. I should have selected that one instead of the voltage, but it's okay. And then we can see the IAC follow change. So the IAC is working good. Fiber reference is good. And we keep recording. So this is good, right? So where you can find this data, all right? So let me go over to make this window a little smaller. So we can then now select that. So you're going to go over to your documents. These are always going to be in the way because you're recording. So it's going to show you're not going to be doing this while you're doing the recording. You're focusing on the boat. And this is just for me to show you what you will do after. So I'm going to keep that recording going on in there. I can do smoke a cigarette, enjoy the ride. Everything is going good in the boat, right? So something happened again, you just click the stop and you put same name, and now it's going to be different time. So it's not going to affect because the saving is going to be different. Let me actually show you that. So I'm going to stop that. As you can see now, the date is the same, but the time is different. So if I name this the same way, so let me do it. John D. Put a C in there, I think, yeah. Tennessee, and I put a, well, I'm actually going to name it 25, 2.5K. Not sure if that dot is going to work, but we'll see. And then save it. Yeah, it did work. All right, so going back to where those, oh, let me just put the recording back again. All right, so you can do as many record as you want. All right, so we are in the files. We're going to go over to documents, Diacom data. Right here again, document folder, Diacom data, and then records. And all the records are here. So as you can see, I got a lot of records. So we're going to look for the J, and then we should have it here, and there they are. So we got the John D Tennessee 4K RPMs, and then John D Tennessee 22.5K RPM. So we got the full recording. So let me bring the computer down to idle because I want to, since we're doing this, let me get a full, this is the test that I do for all the customers, and I record this file so I can revisit the information in case I need to, and then send it to them so they can have it, and so is me for future references. All right, so we're going to change the map to 12 point, let me take that file folder out of the way. Oh, all right, so let me, yeah, I want to bring the map to 12.5 at idle, around there, and then the throttle position around 7 to 10% in between that range. And then now we can see the IAC also changing. You see now and yellow, red and yellow. The IAC is now changing his steps, and we can see here from 68 to the 38. So the IAC is working 100%. Nothing wrong with this computer. Nothing. Everything is working good. But so now this is the idle test. All right, so I'm going to just then again click a stop, and we're going to name this John. Let me just name that. All right, so we got the idle and everything, so they save. Okay, now you are coming back to shore. You are now putting your robes in the dock, and you're good to analyze the data. All right, so let's close all this because now we can uh, don't need the boat running. Obviously, the boat in the dock is working good. Let's say this time everything is fine. Only happen when you are on plane and you are testing your boat. So, all right, so let's turn this off. We don't need the boat running. We're gonna keep the communication or not. I mean, you can do. You not even need to have. All right, guys, this is going to be kind of like in the middle. We're adding of the video because I got caught by an alarm, but I wanted to read complete the paper because I forgot to do this. So we were talking about the MEFI burn, and I spoke to him, Bob, several times, and even sent him my computer for troubleshooting. He tested the computer, and it's functioning fine. I agree with him. The Volvo dealer can talk to the system and clear codes. The boat will run if you stay in the throttle, but will not idle. Well, if you have a throttle position sensor, definitely 100%. Once warm up, it will idle somewhat better, but it still floats around 400 RPMs and it will die. All other sensors have been checked for operation and have been swapped out with known good ones. IAC, TPS, MAP, new injectors, timing is correct. Wow, they have really uh, throw parts out of the boat. I did notice that one exhaust manifold is cooler than the other one. After watching your video, it registered that I might have a failed injector driver due to the different temperatures in the exhaust manifolds. I'm not a driver. I'm sorry, no, that's not the case here. I am okay with you making a video of the process, but please do not use my full name in the video. and that's what I cover on his information. Yeah, so part swap, and that's the problem when you are working blind and you cannot use a scanner to read the data or collect the data and then compare it. You will be working and you will be spending a lot of money. I do like to check powers and grounds to a sensor signal, wire integrity. You have a TPS sensor, you're going to have a three-wire sensor. It's going to have a sensor ground, a sensor power, which is 5 volts, and then a sensor signal. That signal will reach or will go from the sensor to the computer. The sensor ground, it can be from the computer, and we'll have to look into this manual. I have Volvo Penta, so we can actually develop a little bit in here. This is again is going to be a little bit in the middle of the video because I'm going to then talk more of what I was talking, but I want to share this as well. So if we open Diacom, you have in Diacom also um, the manuals. So we can click in here, select Volvo Penta, and let's see if we have the MEFI 3 right there, right here, MEFI 3 8.2. And yes, we do. You see, this is very, very important. Let's see if we go over to diagnosis. You can select here and it will tell you MEFI onboard service, symptoms, diagnostics, engine control modules, and sensor. Let's go over to page, to section 2 and see what we see. I'm looking for this is a typical sensor, and this is what they're, showing in here, what a three-wire sensor will do and what a two-wire sensor will do. Um, this is three wires. All three-wire sensors have reference voltage, a ground, and a variable wiper. That's a TPS. So it looks like, yes, the sensor ground will come from the computer. So with the way that you want to check this, let's say, this is our throttle position sensor, and this is our ECM. Okay, you already tried three different softwares or computer. I'm not sure. I have to read the paper again, and you swap the TPS and still doing the same. You're working blind because you cannot see the data pits. You want to make sure that you can see the data pit and see what the voltage on the sensor is based on to the fold. It looks like it's going high. So we might have an open on the wire in here. So what I will do is I unplug the ECM and unplug the sensor. Let's pick up one wire at a time. I use a multimeter. Yeah, let me just get the multimeter here. So we're gonna put the multimeter onto, let's say this is the fluke. Most multimeter will have the resistance. This is an ohm sign, and right next to that you have these yellow lines. That means continuity, and it's a bip. So yellow with the yellow button. When I click, if I put now the leads in here, which I can do with one hand, yes. If I touch the leads, that will create a bip. And you can see it's a dead short 0. So that's how you check continuity. You see, it's continuity, beeping, and showing 0 ohms. So this is how you start. So you're going to put one side of the multimeter onto this side, connected on the ECM, and then on the other side, and the connector of the sensor. Don't push the pin so hard, you're just touching. It bips. Okay, it's continuity good. That wire is good. Yes, but not 100%. We have to do a second test. All right, the second test you want to do with everything disconnected from sensors and from the ECM, both connectors. Don't just disconnect the one. You want to disconnect both connectors in the ECM and then the sensor like that. Make sure there is no ignition on. Now we're going to use a test light. A test light can be anything like this. This is a 194 bolt that I did myself, and I put this 4 millimeter banana adapters on it. So you can put alligators, and the reason I use the 4 millimeter banana adapters is because I can then use a terminal kit or an alligator clamp or anything I want in here, and I can extend it. All right, so you're going to use this, and you're going to connect it to the ECM side or the sensor side, whatever you have easiest access to it. On the other side, you want to have a wire to ground, but you want to make sure to use a fuse in between just in case this is shorted to power. Because if you put this into ground and this wire is shorted to power, you will melt the wire, right? So you don't want to have that shorted to power, because if it's shorted to power, we might definitely have a problem with the ECM, but you don't want to turn the harness, short the harness even more if it's shorted to power. So that's to protect your harness. So we're going to use a cable to ground with a fuse in between. You can put a 5 amp fuse. That's perfect, because this lights, they draw around 900 to 1 amp, 900 milliamps to 1 amp. And then what we're going to do, now we have this connected to the you see, I have a terminal in here, so we're going to have that connected to the ECM connector on the same wire that we already checked continuity. The other one is to ground with a fuse, and now we're going to touch this other side to the battery positive. That should light up nice and bright. If that lights nice and bright, that wire is 100% good. We move into the next wire and then into the next wire. All good, perfect. You have a good sensor, you check the wiring, then most likely your problem is in the ECM. But you need to do this test before, otherwise you're going to be sending a computer for testing, and it's like in this case, not a computer. But I'm okay, checking the computers. I know that sometimes, like I said, it's hard to have the diagnostics or to have the knowledge to perform this test, and that's why I want to share all this with you, do it yourselfers, and also to technicians on the marine side that want to evolve and be a better diagnostician. I'm putting this away. Better diagnostician on the field. You will definitely be ahead of the game if you do this. All right, guys. Just proceed with the rest of the video. It's a lot of good information in there. Stay tuned. Don't go away. All right, as I said, you not even need to have the computer connected to the boat no more. So I turn everything off. As you can see, we lost communication with ACM. I can turn the entire thing off. So let's go over to this computer so I can manage this with a better mouse. So let's say, let's even close this. So we start from scratch. So you recorded you did the recordings on your boat, and now you want to revisit. So you're going to open up DIACOM again, right? So you close the laptop, you're now back into your office or at home, whatever you want to analyze the data. Now you're going to do, let me just see, select and move parameters. I think these are service, right here, the folder. So you go to the view recorded file. Again, this will open automatically the folder from the record. So keep them there like that. You are always using them. Very easy to find because the software itself knows where they are. All right, so let's open John D at 4,000 RPMs. So as you can see now, we have, and this is good because since Diacom was running, it will record even before you start the recording. So you got this data that, because since it was running and you click the record, it takes that folder because it has a buffer that will save those values for you. So if it happens just exactly where you were just trying to keep the record, as long as you already had the diagram running, you will be okay. When you have this in here, you can do the same thing. You can select pits. You can put, again, pits up in bigger numbers. What I like to do is just analyze the data as I move in here. So you can just click all the way to the back on the red area and then click play. And that's going to pretty much work as the normal milliseconds or times of the recording, and then you can revisit the entire recording. This will be really handy for me too, because sometimes a technician or boat owner don't know where to look or what to look at. I do. So if you have Diacom kit laptop base for your boat and you send me the files, I will be able to guide you through what to look for. Because like in this case, John has a fault for TPS, total position sensor voltage high. It's not happening here, obviously, because fiber reference is good, sensor ground is good, and I can change the position of that sensor value in the computer, and all is normal. But that means it's something in the boat. Since he don't have a way to actually use his MEFI burn he's going to have to use the Scanner Pro, and he's going to have to hold the camera. I don't know if the Scanner Pro has a recording feature. I have never used it, so I am very familiar with Diacom, and I love this. But if you have a software that can read the pits like this, and it does not record, well, then you're going to have to um, use your phone as I'm using my phone to record these videos, and then upload the file even to Dropbox or to YouTube, create it, a user, and just do not a private, even an unlisted video like that. I can visit that video and analyze the data, because you will be able to see in there if the throttle position sensor voltage is actually high. If it's reading 5 volts, that means you have an open on the ground for the sensor. If it's reading low, 0, it might be a shorted wire, but I can help you diagnose your boat like this. So I hope that you guys like how much information I'm actually sharing in here. Let me actually show you where you can get the Diacom kits. All right, all I typed was Diacom Rinda, and then you have all in here. Click where it says, probably, I'm not sure if it's going to be the same as in your computer. Sometimes the search engine does not work the same as in all, but look for the Diacom Marine Diagnostics software. All right, so Marine price list, web store online ordering. Okay, that's where you want to click. And then in here is where you can see, don't even go over to the TechMed Pro. Don't waste your money. Go over to the Diacom Marine kits. This is all the kits. All right, so in here are going to be different kits. That all depends for what brand you have. So if you have, let me just see, they have also the full kit, which should be around, I think it's $1,400. You can see, one boat kit, it will be around $600, so not expensive at all. I didn't actually see the full kit. You see this in here, 800. Oh yeah, it's right here. So this is the full kit. If you buy this and you work as a technician and you have multiple brands to work with, I would recommend you to get this one. It's $1349 plus taxes, so around $1,400. But this has even for diesel engines. It has all the connectors you need to connect the straight without doing anything into boats. It will come with the software. You need to have that CD, because on the internet, let's say, if I open Diacom, which I have here on this computer too, I can go to utilities. Let's say right now I'm using Diacom 339. Let's see if it's any update. So I click help, Diacom update web page. It will exit the software and it will open the web browser, and that is the latest 339. As you can see, in download, it says the download available on this page updates an existing installation of the Diacom Marine program. This download is not intended as a first-time installation and does not contain all the resources available on the Diacom Marine program CD. So yes, you need to get a kit like the ones that I'm showing you here for your boat or for all the boats. Again, if you are a tech, you want to get the full kit. If you are not a tech, then you have to click on the kits and that will tell you what kit is for. Like in this case, this has the adapters 94005 and 94006 and the 94029. Uh, this is more, you see, see if it fits my application. Okay, click in here. All right, so I'm going to say this is for Volvo Penta, and then year, let's say it's a 2000. This one will not really matter. And then OGA base and set, it does fit your application, you see. So I'm very familiar with their kits, so I knew that this was for Volvo Pentas and so on. So if you had a Volvo Penta, that's the kit you want to get, because you don't want to anything else. And even if you buy just this kit and you want to buy the connectors later for the other applications, you can. They will be more expensive if you end up just buying it separately. So if you want to get the full kit, this is the best buck for the money for what you want to get. and otherwise you can get just the rest of the kits. I hope again, guys, that this is to help all the marine technicians and marine owners because sometimes it's hard to find a good tech that has diagnostic softwares, and you want to have this. If you have a good tech that has electrical knowledge, but it does not have a scanner, and you do have it, and you guys save the recording as I show you in this video, I'm gonna tell you everything will be successful, and you will get your boat running on the water with no problems. They will find out if this is a electrical problem or if it's a mechanical problem. I can guide you through a lot of tests you can do on the boat. I'm here to help. I am always helping my customers. Again, thank you so much for visiting the channel. Don't forget to subscribe. See you next time. Bye bye.